Hey guys, Oswanton007 here to start my 2003 reviews. Just gonna be reading off my Word document. Starts off with a winner enters the Royal Rumble match between Brock Lesnar and the Big Show. This was a really good match. They spent like 7 minutes on this, and it was with the correct person went over to the Rumble. They didn't waste any time to give Lesnar the win and the F5, and didn't make Big Show look that bad at all. They spent 7 minutes and made a great match, made a good match out of it. Like I said, didn't make any time with the pay-per-view. I very much like this match, but the match itself wasn't that great. 1 3/4 stars. Then we go to a World Tag Team Championship match between Lance Storm. I don't know where he went mid-year here in the pay-per-views. Lance Storm and William Regal versus the Dudley Boyz. The Dudleys won the match with some help from William Regal's brass knuckles. I really think that Goldberg and Booker should have lost the championships to the Dudleys and giving the Booker and Goldberg lost some more credibility. Lost it at the pay-per-view rather than losing it at Raw earlier in the month. But shit happens. Overall, I gave that match 2 stars. And we move on to Dawn Marie versus Torrie Wilson. This was a really intense rivalry that had been going on for about 3 months. Dawn ended up losing the match in about 5 minutes, which was really good. They've really been booking this really well so far. They wasted no time. It was only 5 minutes long, and it was a 3 3/4 star match. And then we move on to a World Heavyweight Championship match between Triple H and Scott Steiner. What can I say? Steiner, he gasses out so easy. Hey? He had, no time. He almost killed Triple H at one spot. But Steiner won by DQ after Triple H hit him with a sledgehammer, and then Steiner attacked Triple H with the Steiner recliner. This match was absolutely terrible, as I said, and Steiner is lucky to have a job after this one, let alone a main event on the next pay-per-view. Steiner was so bad he constantly got booed midway through the match. 1.5 stars. This all beginning to sort of stuff brought down the pay-per-view. But then we have, obviously, the Kurt Man stealing the fucking show again, what he does. In a WWE Championship match with Chris Benoit. Kurt won the match by locking in the ankle lock for about 1 minute. The crowd then shows a huge class and gives Benoit a standing ovation after the match for the effort. See, now they've got a dilemma after this match. They've built up Benoit as a big babyface now, but they have nowhere to go with him because Brock and Angle are carved in for WrestleMania. My solution: move him to Raw and put him over Triple H for the world title, thus keeping the momentum and giving Triple H a fresh babyface to feud with. But no, they do not fucking do that, do they? It just pisses me the fuck off what they do with Benoit. Okay, then we have the Royal Rumble match. It was okay. It was an okay match. Shawn and Jericho started off the Rumble and set up the match they have at WrestleMania. This was a great finish and push for Lesnar to make it big by eliminating the Undertaker last. No one else at the time really looked like they were going to win, apart from maybe RVD and Jericho. But that is really everyone. Overall, it was an average Rumble, but they all are pretty much the same. The 2003 Rumble match, 3 stars, and overall the 2003 Rumble, 6.75 out of 10. Then let's move on to the Way Out 2003, which is our worst pay-per-view. It starts off with a Chris Jericho Hardy match. Jericho won with the walls in a great and very energetic, fast-paced opening match. Jeff had minimum spots botched, which was great for the match. 3 stars. Then we move on to a World Tag Team Championship match between William Regal and Lance Storm versus RVD and Kane. Kane's mask gets slightly pulled off in the center and is blind. He chokeslams RVD by mistake, and William Regal gets the pin at 9.21 seconds. 9 minutes 21 seconds. I gotta say that the whole thing with his mask sort of being pulled to the side is pretty lame. As a pretty lame excuse for costing your partner the match. As usual, a Regal Storm snooze fest. Then we have a Cruiserweight Championship match. Oh wait, that match, the tag match I gave one star, one 3/4 stars. There you go. Then we have a Cruiserweight Championship match with Billy Kidman versus Matt Hardy. I felt like this was a fairly good match. Great psychology and very technical. Matt won with a second twist of fate from the top rope, which is awesome. It was a great finish and a pretty good end to a match. Seeing Matt as V1 was pretty cool too. 3 stars. Then we have Undertaker versus the Big Show. Undertaker wins with his new submission finisher, the triangle choke, which we all know now is devilsome. Beat Triple H at Mania 27 with it. And after the match, A-Train comes out and powerbombs Taker to start their rivalry off. And that is the only interesting thing about this match. But don't get me wrong, it wasn't really that bad. Just nothing much happened. 1.25 stars. Then, is that the main event? No, then we have a SmackDown match. Brock Lesnar and Chris Benoit versus Team Angle. Edge got taken out earlier in the night. So it's now a handicap match. Benoit won the match with a crippler crossface and Charlie Haas in this little build up to the WrestleMania match. Team Angle throughout the match was surprisingly ahead of the curve, and it's too bad they were broken up for what it seems like a perpetual lower mid-card push for Shelton Benjamin. Brock was at his peak here, hitting crisp moves and yet bumping around like a maniac. 3.5 stars. Then we have a World Heavyweight Championship match between Scott Steiner and Triple H, which shouldn't have happened again. Triple H wins with a pedigree after an interference from Ric Flair. I know nobody's listening right now, so that's why I'm in this voice. And a championship shot to the head of Scott Steiner. Very cliche interference and spot, slug-like moves, sloppiness. Yes, this one truly had it all. 1.5 stars. I am incredibly boring right now, and I'm sorry for anyone who decided to listen. Then we have Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Eric Bischoff. This was a really fun match where Steve Austin hit the stunner on Bischoff 4 times, and Jericho and JR way oversold the win, and it was absolutely hilarious. But anyway, not really a match and just a segment, so that's how I gave it this rating of an NA. Guys, please listen to some of my newer stuff. I've tried to make it sound a lot better. I'm trying to do it off the cuff rather than reading off a fucking page. The Rock vs. Hogan. Rocket given the chair by the ref, which allows him to nail Hogan and finish with the Rock bottom. Yes, it plays to another Montreal screwjob. Not at all old. Not at all. The match was basically 10 minutes of The Rock riffing on how undated Hulkamania is. Fine by me, but not exactly epic like the first meeting. 1 star. Then we'll skip WrestleMania 19. Oh wait, overall I gave that pay-per-view a 5.5 out of 10. Then we'll skip WrestleMania and go to Backlash 03.
This was a worse pay-per-view than the last one, which is getting worse and worse. Starts with a WWE Tag Championship match between Team Angle and Los Guerreros. I think this was the match of the night. Team Angle won the match when Haas got the pin on Chavo, and Shelton held Chavo's foot, which caused Team Angle to win. This match was placed so awkward. This match was placed really awkwardly on the card, and it didn't fit an opening criteria. It should have been in the middle of the card. It was a good match and match of the night. Then we have the first ever pay-per-view appearance of Sean O'Haire, who was versing Rikishi. This was a terrible filler match that was the start to a push that lasted one night. O'Haire ended up getting injured and his wrestling career never eventuated. 1 star. Now, as quickly as I can, moving on to the next match is a World Tag Championship match between RVD and Kane versus the Dudley Boyz. The problem with this match is that the Dudley Boyz were already getting stale and couldn't get a crowd reaction, which caused this match to be very mediocre. RVD won with a 5-star, 2.25 stars. Then we've got the Women's Championship match between Trish and Jazz. This was a good match as Trish was reaching the peak of her career. Jazz won with a roll-up and hands on the rope, 2 stars. Then we've got Big Show versus Mysterio. This was essentially a squash after 3 619, and then from nowhere, Big Show no sells the 619s and hits the choke slam. And it was only 3 minutes, so can't expect much from it. After the match, Big Show slammed Ray against a pole, and it was truly a holy shit moment. 3.25 stars. No, 3/4 of a star, sorry. Then there's a WWE Championship match with Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. Cena dominated this match and really looked like he could win. Lesnar got the win in Cena's first ever world title shot with an F5, and Cena tried to cheat, but it didn't work and cost him the match. Cena was impressive and he definitely made an impact. 2.75 stars. Now, 2 matches to go. Let's finish this up because I'm getting fucking tired and it's 2 in the morning. Triple H, Ric Flair, and Jericho versus HBK, Booker T, and Kevin Nash. This match was really just to highlight the return of Kevin Nash and get him started in a rivalry with Triple H. The match itself was good, and Nash looked good apart from being quite slow. He looked okay in the ring. Everybody else was great apart from Nate, as usual. 3.5 stars. And the main event of the night, The Rock and Goldberg in The Rock's last ever match, apart from last ever singles match. After 2 spears and a jackhammer, Goldberg wins. The match was very entertaining, but not wrestling wise. They both hit all their big pop moves, and the match was over. The Rock's last ever singles match. 2.5 stars. Overall, I gave the pay-per-view a 5.25 out of 10. Guys, I almost one time. I am so sorry this is shit. I don't give a shit if you subscribe at the moment because I'm fucked. Good night, guys.